We're gonna use mold putty 15 right here for a mold. So first, we need to go to part A and figure out how much we need. So, kind of just smush it down. Try to get it as even as we can. Now we need to pull it out and find out how much it weighs, and then divide that by 2. Looks like it weighs 153. So half of this, we're gonna need roughly 75 grams. 75 of each, that is. So now that they're both equal, we just need to mix them up. We made the mold surface perfectly flat, and now we have the spinners in place. Now we just need to smoosh them down very carefully into the mold. Now that they're nice and flat, we just need to wait for it to set. But I really don't have time because I need to finish my social studies homework. So, to move on to the next step, I'm going to use one of Poppy's single cavity molds. You can either use opaque or clear resin, or depending on what you're trying to accomplish. Me and Poppy are gonna use clear for this one. And you can also add really whatever you want. You can add reflective parts, dye, glitter, which me and Poppy are gonna use. And first, we have to get about, I would say 5 of each of part A and B. We're gonna use a little bit of green dye to put in here. Now we're gonna add some glitter to it. Ooh, looks cool. So now, we just need to pour a little bit of it in here. Now we need to use this little piece of wire, carefully set it on there like that. And we can use this, if it's not perfect, to kind of move it a little bit right there. There we go. So now I'm gonna pour the rest of this on here. Now we're gonna put this in the pressure pot to get out all the air. We put it in the oven to speed things up. Now let's see how it turned out. Ooh, it looks really pretty there. It's a little hot, but pull it out and ooh, it looks great. I bet this will catch a lot of fish, and if you want to catch a lot of fish too, make spinner blades.
All right, here they are. I showed you the stuff that Vaughn, and I made.
Impressive.
And a simple mold, but the whole point of it. Right now, if I wanted to buy spinners, I could buy Colorado blades.
Willow
leaf blade.
Yep.
Indiana blade.
Yep.
And then this little blade here is called a turtle back shape, but it's basically a modified willow leaf.
Yeah.
And as most people know, the reason that we have these different blade shapes has got to do with both the kind of a vibration that they put out, or sound,
Yep.
and also lift. So if we had a spinnerbait that weighs an ounce, and we put a big blade on it, and we reel it at a given speed, it will travel at a given depth. Put a
Yeah.
smaller blade, it'll go deeper,
Sure.
same speed, all that sort of thing.
Resistance, sure.
Yeah, but the problem is that we have such a limited number of blades,
Right.
and basically we've got just a few color options. What I found is that by using molded blades, using your resin, that I can make any shape
Sure.
that I want.
Thickness, weight.
Yep. And they work great on an inline spinner.
Sure.
They work just fine on a spinner blade. And also, if you get a lure that you just can't get it to track,
Right. Add the kite tail.
add a kite tail on the back with a spinner
Absolutely.
like the old Hellbenders and
Yeah.
was it a Bomber Water Dog?
Sure.
You mess with that. And so you've got a little variation in sound, which is just as important as some variation in color.
Right.
And then what's really cool, you're gonna like this one. Started playing around, remember the double wobble?
Sure.
Way back.
Oh, yeah.
And that we'd use those metal blades, and then they'd cut, it sounded
Yeah.
like somebody rattling a trailer house full of china.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, rubber. I'm taking 80 drum rubber.
All of a sudden they're thumping, but they're thumping, they're not dinging.
Yeah, and low frequency sounds travel way further underwater. And our listening ability conks out at something like 19 hertz. Fish goes down to like 6. So the sounds that they hear best are the sounds that we don't even hear.
Gotcha.
And so you can play around with the blades in terms of thumping and banging and clanging. Plus, all the other blades that we have are perfectly uniform. We can take this blade.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even tell you this.
Oh, I know where you're going. I love it.
We're put a 2 little number 9 shot in
Yeah.
one side. So when
No,
you're
it's-
winding a
It's
spinner,
dysfunctional.
it gets a
Yeah.
little hip in the giddy.
Absolutely.
Boom, it gets bit just like when it hits cover, so on and so on. So I think that this is really, really exciting.
Yeah, and even with the resin, I mean, you don't have to lose the flash and everything. You could put Mirage film
Yeah,
in
yeah,
here.
yeah.
You can make it clear. You can make it
Exactly.
foam. You can play around with density, weight, like you saying, make it the little hitch in the giddy up, make it off-centered or off-balanced intentionally.
Or more buoyant, so the spinner bait doesn't sink as quickly, even
Right.
though you haven't changed the size of it. Or
Right.
if I wanted right now, if I wanted a lot of resistance, a lot of vibration, but I don't want very much flash, I could make a big clear blade
Oh,
and just
yeah.
put a little teeny
Yeah.
flash, or vice versa.
You put a clear blade in there, and it's invisible.
Yeah,
So I mean, you'll get all the vibration, but you'll get none of the
right.
the spook.
Or you start punching holes in it,
Right.
and it changes things.
Yeah.
So what it's like in heavily fished water, sometimes you need to pull something out that fish haven't seen before.
Absolutely.
That they have not sampled.
Right.
Yeah.